Hey everybody, what's up this morning? You got Lady Hippy at the bar here. You betcha it's Sunday. I'm I'm an old lady. I need a stiffener. Actually, it's not a bad idea. I should throw a mimosa together. What a way to say good morning, isn't it? I have no idea what subject to pick today. I turned on, of course, YouTube this morning after the usual shower and all that thing. It's the bondo that takes so much time. So I turned on TV, and we have, of course, the smart TV. This one's not a Roku in my room. The bedroom and the man's cave up there, they've got the smart TVs. Thank God my TV just does it for me. I turned it on, it works. So I'm like, okay, good. I'm picking up things and trying to decide what to wear today or what set of jewelry will go with what. It's pretty fun. I'm telling you, it really is. My granddaughter is going to love me when I'm gone. A lot of stuff, and I give her a lot of stuff already. So she's growing up, and there are some of the pieces that I wanted her to have already. So I've gifted those to her for other holidays. We'll say. I can see. I look like I can't see. I look like I'm just squinting at you guys. But trying the glasses. Yeah, that does make a difference. It does show that I'm really actually a lot older than I look. It's like going in to get a bottle of wine and they have to card me, and I'm like, seriously, can I take you to lunch? I got three IDs here. Hold on a minute. I love those. Those are great. I love those. So, as I was saying before I wandered off again, maybe somebody likes to channel where there's an old lady at a bar that just wanders from topic to topic. Just pick one. I still haven't even looked at YouTube until this morning, and I might as well make this story short. Which, yeah, that ship food. Um, Turn on YouTube. And of course, you have to turn it actually on so you get, past your listings, highlight it, flip the little thing. So come on. And the first thing that comes on, and it's already talking and everything, is me. I was like, I look like hell. But I wasn't actually that bad. I watched a few minutes, and this was when I was getting ready through the shower and all of that. People crack me up about that because my father, like I mentioned, was World War II. And when you got a shower and you didn't do baths, you had like 3 minutes, and that was pushing it. I mean, seriously. So when I got in the military, I was like, I'm out, Helped out a lot back then. Didn't do makeup or anything either. You had drill on the fly, so you're good to go. And still, it's kind of actually passed out with me. If I take a really long shower, it's because I'm standing under the massager and moving my back to the points where a masseuse would say, "Good grief, what happened here?" But generally, I do I'm in and out. And I do so, and I forget now that I've left YouTube on. And I walk in again, I hear my voice, and I turn around, I'm like, look at that, I still I forgot to move it. But it's really awesome to see. At least I've gotten to that part. So I've learned how to do this. So that I'm going to take that as a bonus. One can't do everything all the time, but apparently it does go that you can teach an old dog a new damn trick. I'm going to go for my stiffener. As you can see, I still like the little bottles from the airport. Look, I mean, and they sell these at the liquor store down the street. So Robert gets these for me because I call them, these are my stiffeners. Hey, as you can see, my hands work so well. This one didn't want to cooperate at all. I think my nails get in the way as well. Something I've always had since uh, Hans would have been about the time I was 20. You couldn't have them when you were marching and doing all that stuff, or training the nurses, or I used to. They used to have me as their drill for 2 weeks worth of basic training, which is I went to Fort Jackson. These guys would come to San Antonio, Fort Sam Houston. Excuse me, I'm sloppy, and so and we got full treatment. The nurses are officers. And I was going, when I originally enlisted, I was to be a secretary slash nurse. And I'm still doing that, which is why I was assigned to Fort Sam Houston, not just for the secretarial skills I had. I mean, for God's sakes, I still did shorthand. And so nobody at any of the bases I served could ever catch me typing and catch up to me. And the dictation, they had to use the dictaphone, whereas I could do it shorthand. We didn't have to mess with all that. Finally, they made me use the dictaphone. I think they were tired of seeing me. It's just they called data entry medical. No matter what I had going on, that still had to be done. And so, yeah, I said, wow, that's wild. It really is. One time I ended up on TV at UT, as a matter of fact. I was I always got 2 cartons of milk for lunch, and I stayed there because I took the bus home. Robert would drop me off, but he got off later than I did. And so he would, I would take the bus, but he would be watching for that bus. He'd drop me right in front of the apartment. And like, oh no. At one time, well, now I've gone off, forgotten which one I was going to. Oh, yeah. Well, Fort Sam was just a party town anyway, no matter what you did. But I can see also I needed my TV to come down because apparently I am completely deaf. And usually, there it goes. You have to get the dot somewhere you can read it. These smart TVs. Now, again, I've gone off tangent. I don't know what it was, but hey, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm going to still be here all week. I do wish somebody would say, shut her up. Yesterday, when I turned on YouTube, I had hit search because I was looking for the IDF. And the first thing that came up was me. And again this morning, I didn't even hit search. I just turned on YouTube and bam, there I was. And I was like, do I have anything to really talk about? I was like, you wonder who's out there that goes, she's almost funny. But if we keep watching, she just might make it. I have a few friends on Facebook, many that are family and friends. The friends that like family. And I miss incredibly. I love the cinnamon in this stuff. It's amazing. The whole chest warms up. It's amazing. Again, the benefits of working at a bar. And I used to say, just starting out on my YouTube, I didn't think it would be a job. I was wrong. Excuse me. Anyway, um, it is odd to see myself on TV. And again, it is work. It really is. And without you guys, I couldn't do this. And I'm so excited about all of it. I think that a couple of my friends are finally getting some time, maybe next weekend. That my flowers, I can't see my flowers much, but they might be in, and I can interview them at that time. I talked to my son. He dropped by for some reason. Every once in a while, their mail still comes here, and something Brandy, my daughter-in-law, had ordered had come here. It was addressed for here. Sometimes when you fill it in automatic or whatever, it's your old address if you've moved. I mean, it has to happen to me as well because I use that a lot. Oh, it's filled in. Great, kid. I love these things. I really do. It's so wild. I went to Disneyland for our senior trip. Well, I went to a couple, but I got around a lot. But I really tripped off on the World of Tomorrow exhibit. And my God, how much it costs to do anything there. But it was awesome to me, the stuff they had in there, different. Actually, they had a microwave. We didn't have a microwave. What the hell's a microwave? So you stop and you're looking. This woman's got something back in 10 seconds. You're like, what? Lose 30, 40 more minutes if they do this a few more times. I love the automatic sidewalk moving. That was, I don't know what they called it these days, but good God, I love that thing. I never thought we'd ever see such a thing, but it's, it's amazing. We have gone way past what I looked at on my senior trip. We are Dick Tracy. Then some. I remember on the old cartoons, Dick Tracy used to use his watch to talk to his boss and do stuff. And I'll be blessed if we don't do that today. Sometimes I think sci-fi is definitely in on some things before it hits us. But yeah, what can you say? In any event, I enjoyed watching myself as I woke up to get ready. I was like, well, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, I'm hoping to get a couple of people. As I started to say, my son, when he came over to pick up the box, I said, would it be okay if I'd come over maybe next weekend with my equipment? Because Zoe wants to be, um, she wants to be a guest on the show. She wants me to ask her questions so she can be on. And of course, I'm not going to turn this beautiful thing. Smart as a whip, I swear. And so, of course, I have to ask the parents. I can't just show up to interview their daughter on YouTube. And he's been watching them. He doesn't watch YouTube, so he usually trying to drop them into Facebook. I guess that's where he's seeing them. So he knows this is, I'm not up here with a bullwhip and no clothes, whatever. Yeah. Okay, that's a really bad image. I'm sorry. Normally, I wouldn't think that would go far. It's like, oh my God. Anyway, I cracked myself up. Anyway, he goes and says, Mama, I think I got the 19th. And I said, well, let me know. Because he is awful work hours a lot of the time. I mean, he's earned medals and everything, and I did too. But that means you work for 4 days with just coffee, or for them monster drinks. You know what I'm saying? You were really working. Like at UT, I would take a briefcase and work home. My husband would be asleep while I'm still working on the stuff at my briefcase. You finally go, okay, I got 4 hours. I can do this. And I loved it. I really did. I missed all of that. Helped to build the Georgia State Fair here in Spillane, Macon. It's wonderful. We went to every one of them and stopped finally going when we got to the 20th anniversary, because by then they wouldn't let us on the rides. We've got walking canes and guide dogs. That parrot. But no, actually, we just stopped going because, again, it takes a lot out of you to go to the fair. And I mean, out of your wallet. Yeah, you can handle it. It's the wallet thing that bothers me. Maybe it's my makeup. My makeup is from Sephora. 2 years ago, I think it was, right after the pandemic, I believe it was. My beautiful daughter-in-law took me for a makeover because I've been saying I was going to do that. And so, like 100, maybe $300. I mean, it was very expensive. And she had bought the items that they were using for me. And it was a lot of money. It's not a place I would shop. Because I couldn't afford the mascara. So when I'm doing a podcast or if I'm going somewhere, um, yeah, I put the pilot, what do they call it? The palette um, came with this, and this was a couple $100 palette, might as well have been, of colors. And so when I'm going somewhere, I use the palette, and the rest of the time I just use CoverGirl. Works for me. I've been using it since I could wear makeup. And when I started out wearing makeup, it was just blue. Everything was blue. all of us. Everybody had the eyeshadow on. And one of my cousins sat down next to me, and I was home on leave. I had barely arrived. I was still in uniform. I stayed in uniform to get home because I took what they called back then hops. And so I didn't take the airliners home. I could take time on a vacation to say 2 weeks. That's what I would take. And you would jump on one of the planes that was going there. San Antonio had four bases and back at the beginning. That's where it was going out of. So you would hop and I had my duffel bags. That's where my civilian and military clothes were. So I never carried anything but my duffel bag. I mean, the coat, everything, right? All that was in the duffel bag. So here I am. I'm in uniform, and they're like, "You got to get out of that thing. Why don't you wear your civilian clothes?" And again, I explained, I would if I was on a civilian airliner, but I'd rather not pay the whole 700 to get it. And none of my friends ever left. Uh, I went back many times until my sister and my brother passed away. Bless them. But and I never went that way after that. But I couldn't get over the fact that none of them ever left that area. My same friends that I had from whatever grade to it was 7 years, I think. That was um, they were still there, and many I could see. A lot of them, they weren't there, or whatever was going on. So I was like, okay, I used to see it when I would go home because I inevitably was taken to the bar by my brother. It was called People's, and at 2 o'clock they closed, but they left us in there. I'm not kidding. They would, lock those doors, and we didn't have to leave. We weren't supposed to leave. Now, and drinks went to 50% or 50 cents rather. Uh, so this was, and it was the neighborhood bar. I mean, you could walk there. Actually, we usually did because nobody was in shape to drive. You'd have to call somebody where they woke up and explain why you need a ride. And little bit, you got enough money for gas. And anyway, again, that was the neighborhood bar. I loved that place. So my brother also loved a place that I can't remember the name of the bar there, but it was a 50s theme. The bar it was actually a Cadillac. I can't remember what month, not month, but what year. Anyway, it was a Cadillac. So anyway, that was the bar, which was awesome enough. And my brother, since I got there at that place with them for those 7, 8 years, he was a great big brother. He taught me how to dance the 50s dances, and the small 45s he would give to me because I had the little record player that he gave me. Really, folks, we didn't have excellent serious. It was it's just on the. I mean, so I ended up doing 50s dancing. And I love dancing. So we had dance at school. So I could take ballet, square dance, ballroom. I did all of that. And I'm sorry that today I don't see people not doing that. I think that's a big loss. I haven't seen a good tap dancer in years either. And I used to tap, and it's a difficult thing to do. For the ceremony, that should look just easy, way too easy. No, it's not. It's like the ice skating. I loved ice skating. I could do some really nice ice skating, and usually didn't fall. I used to say, all of us did. We used to ice skate to school. When it came around summertime, I ended up using a friend of mine tried to set of skates, roller skates that you just put your foot in at a time on and all that. And it promptly fell. Tried 4 or 5 times, got on. I said, okay, I'm good. There's a little rumor out anyway that says if you can do ice skating, you can't roller skate. The center of balance is completely different. The roller skate is in the middle and the other is on the sides. And it's like your body can't quite skip it or you haven't done enough to skip it. I'm sure I could have learned it. But these 50 bars, I digress. Um, by the time I grew up, I'd always danced the 50 dances with him. Always, it was a lot of fun. Um, the bar was wicked. He didn't tell me nothing about it. Just that there was a new bar, and his wife and another one of my friends was with us. And I generally wore a dance dress if I was going out. For one, it was a nice dress, whatever I brought. But two, it's one of those flares. You could dance, and it would work well. And so I'd have one or two of those. And so I'd worn that, and my brother used to think it was so funny because I had shoes, high heels to dance with. They were dance shoes, actually called dance shoes, but they, of course, were not snow boots because outside the bar it was 21 minus, and there's 5 feet of snow. You're gonna have to break trail to get to your car. I mean, like sandals, dress sandals. Which was one of the bad parts. There's that you get a bar chair, and they put you in the bar. And you've seen it now. You've been in there long enough to know what's going on, but you already had 3 or 4 shots, and you're okay with it. They lean you back, and they have 3 or 4 bottles, and they pour all that in your mouth. I don't know how many seconds. I guess till they see you've got a full mouth that you can swallow, because you're still swallowing while you're in the air because it had this ejector button. I swear to God, you can't make this up. And they would hit this as you're swallowing, and I mean it launched you a good 10, 15 feet to the dance floor. And I'm talking a well polished dance floor. It was a dance floor. And that particular first time my brother was down there, he had already requested a song. And the moment I landed, we were dancing. I mean, I didn't fall or any of that. He knew what spot I was going to hit. And I don't know how, I think he set it up because the minute my feet hit that floor, it was time to dance to a particular dance. He had different dances, and I can't imagine showing them to you now, but it was a lot of fun then. And you're thinking, okay, I could. He's got you back at the bar table. Yeah, I mean, I called it the dentist chair. It's the same thing, but you would do that 4 or 5 times. And people would come up and ask if I could dance with them. And my brother would look at them and go, I don't think so. I never once, I never once got to do that. It's like, okay, well, we're good. I'm moving my mic a little bit because, oh, there we go. Now I thought I was maybe a little too quiet, which is annoying if I don't like quiet. This is one of those podcasts where I just talk about anything that pops in my head. Works most times. I have seen again the Texas. I don't know why it's Texas's problem. I love Texas. Most of you have seen these. No, I spent a lot of time in Texas and returning to Texas, and it's always been in some kind of thing in the news. Waco, something. But I love Texas and I love San Antonio. And I miss her a lot. I wouldn't go back now because they closed the Albert. I think it was one of the Air Force bases. So I'm sure they have a problem with work, getting work and stuff there. This is a big city. So I would come through and maybe visit for a week or something to go see the Alamo and all that again. But yeah, I wouldn't move back because it's just grown into like Atlanta, and I don't like that big a city to live in. I don't mind working in it. Plus, it's a lot higher, if you're going to be for everything, not just your checks if you're lucky to have one of those. I am sorry, my eye is doing that again, and I still forgot to put the tissues on the bar, so I'm working with that. I see I've not been up long. And really, guys, you got to hit the like for me. I know most people don't sit here and lecture you. Give me a break and like this puppy, share, and the subscribe bell is free. You're gonna have to keep doing this. I really do. I want it to be able to get 1,000 views. If you see it, tell me if you didn't like it. Say so. Put it in the comments. If you did, say so. If you would, I've also I try when I do these to ask if anyone knows of an organization that actually helps animals, that not just get the donation, because I've called all of them, I've emailed all of them, and the only thing I've been able to do is contribute, which I have not done because I need the help. I don't need to pay them for help that I'm not going to get. It's just the craziest thing. Even their websites, you can't get to how they would help animals. You can only get to donation. It really has PO'd me. I swear. I don't know why they're getting paid and saying that they're all of them. That they're these rescue groups and that they do this, that, and the other. So if this is seen by one of you people that say your organizations help animals, prove me wrong and send me I don't know, a link, comment, throw the phone number freaking in there. I don't care, but show me that's a reason that you get paid by people. Show me, because I would love to see that. Because I've not found anything in the entire state. What am I supposed to do? Work on the next state? Alabama's not small. Why are they getting money if the only thing you can get to on the website is their money, or you could go on and it says, "Oh, do this and go to this." You can jump over there and again. You can give them some more money. The whole thing is money, money, money. But you can't find any section where you could leave information that maybe they could get back to you and say, "Well, you could do this at this county," or. And I can't for the life of me figure out how in bloody places they're getting paid. It just gobsmacked. I really am. It's just an angry. I'm very angry about this. Um, it's like our tax dollars. They get higher and higher. The deficit gets higher and higher because they're okay. It's paper money. Now they want to go electronic on it anyway. But for God's sakes, none of us has said we're okay with you sending 2.9 billion to Iran. Because we're not freaking okay with that. I mean, hey, nobody I know is happy. You know, if you've got all this freaking money to throw at people, then you need first to look around and find them folk. They start with your homeless veterans. If you've got the money to send to some other country and you don't even bloody have the decency to tell us, come on, my generation. Come on, hippies. Come on out. It's time. It's again time for the. Who else is going to do it but us baby boomers? There's not anybody going to complain, but we baby boomers can. We can scream out our window and tell them, look, knock it off. We can't take it anymore. I mean, it's time for us to stand up. And we have this medium here to do just that. We don't have to walk over to public square and march in freezing rain or hot or whatever. We can do this on social media. I can't say we're going to make a blooming difference. I didn't, I can't even think that we would really, but it might. And in the meantime, it would be so much fun. I would love to meet all of you. Looking forward to doing so because I think at some point you guys are going to at least say, "Get away from the bar," like run. So in any event, my son, I got to go back to it. I do this. I hop around. I asked my son, so can I interview my granddaughter? She wants to do this real bad. And so, I'll come over to her and bring my equipment and so she could do a podcast to be interviewed. And I'm looking forward to it because this child she's amazing. She really is. All the kids are in this generation. Why not? You got all this information literally at your fingertips. And she's smart as I don't know, sharp as a tack. I mean, she's, I can actually have an adult conversation with my granddaughter and not lose her on anything. And that is important to me. I'm not good with babies. I'm not good with kids. I wasn't going to have one. Right? Well, that's another story. In any event, I'm not good with kids. My husband is great with kids and animals. I'm okay with animals as long as they do our job. Very bossy. So usually I can't talk to babies. I don't like taking care of babies. I don't know what it is. I just don't care to do the baby thing. Um, I won't do babysit. I wouldn't babysit unless it was an emergency. Either one of my grandkids, when they were infants and toddlers, I wouldn't do it. It had to be. They wouldn't call me to do it because my son knows I ain't gonna do this. I mean, special things, a graduation, something like this, I could, I would take her. But then they've made other arrangements where they live now, as old as she is, and as friends as she is, and she could stay at their house, and they do that back and forth. I didn't as a kid; my friends did, but I didn't get to do that. Never did get an invitation. Maybe they didn't like me either. Never got I don't know. So I said, okay, with the 50 stance, I got all that going. And life was really a lot of fun. And that's why I say this generation is really messing out. Everybody if they do have a drink, they're at home. Um, Even at my age, and I'll hit 65 this year. I really got to quit saying that. I mean, that's okay. This tape will self destruct in 10 to 20 seconds, as long as the old lady's on it. I'm thinking, and I'm hoping people are looking at this and going, "Did she really say that?" Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I have argued with senators, a lot of seniors, cardinals, a lot of priests, fathers, and bishops. Whenever I ask one of my questions, and I've been to Rome, and right around there, I had my son baptized, and I was raised kind of Catholic. I say kind of Catholic because they kept throwing me out. You can't make this stuff up. So I'm running around with my kids, to get him done, get the little medallion that he's been baptized. But of course, there's a proxy being used for the Pope. But because it's a line, and a lot of kids go through there. But that was a lot of fun running through Europe with the baby. So, and my son was great. I got to admit, even though I didn't care for kids, little baby, it doesn't mean I hurt them or anything stupid or let them get hurt. It's just not my favorite thing to do. And yet, my son, I loved every second I was with him. He was so smart. He was walking on his own at 6 months old. Already talking. He was an amazing toddler, and I enjoyed him. But he was totally different from the other toddlers. And I would have birthdays for him and do all this stuff for him. And he was always different. He was also like me. He was the leader of the pack. I'm so proud of him. It's hard to believe that I watched my son an hour ago. Oh, he can walk, and now he's running his own division like his mom did, with huge clearances and no time off. So he said he was hoping that we could do it on the 19th. He'd let me know. Because he's also got, like every other man, and ladies as well, should be, Valentine's Day, St. Valentine. It should be remembered he's a saint. We all just say Valentine's Day, but it's St. Valentine's Day. And yeah, I get a little snarky about the stupidest stuff, don't I? I don't know what all the other women do for Valentine's. I'm not really. I don't have a lot of friends, which is again why I like this. So you guys, come on, give me a break. Talk back to me. Um, Actually, I have a reason for not having many friends, and we'll talk about that another time. But in any event, yeah, this is why I like this kind of media. Not only that, but you're really kind of stepped back and kind of removed from it. But I am looking forward to interviewing my granddaughter. I have no idea what, literally, I have no idea what I'll ask her. I have no idea. We might just sit here and do this because generally that's what we do when I'm there. We're just talking and laughing. She thinks I'm funny. I'm not sure if she means funny in a good way or funny. You need to get some Thorazine way. It's like, okay, we're good. So maybe the 19th, I'll go over to interview my granddaughter. I'm also hoping next weekend to interview a friend of ours um, uh, by the name Mario. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. Um, I can't wait to interview him. But again, I have no idea what I'm going to say. So I am actually learning this every second that I'm on here. I'm learning. And I am so overjoyed by this. It's so way awesome. This tool would have been out when I was a hippie. Holy Moses. Come on, girls. You know we'd all been in trouble. Like, oh God. So hit those buttons. I keep looking and if I'm live chat, somebody grab. Oh, well, it is Sunday, so some people are sleeping till 12. I did when I was younger, and it was the weekend because I had finished most of my alcohol by Sunday morning. Sleep all day. So I get it. But if you do catch me on the fly, throw a comment in there, hit the bell, hit the like, and I can't do this without you guys. I so love doing this. And if there's a suggestion of what you do want to talk about or you don't want to talk about, whatever it is, please throw it in the comments. I need to hear from you guys. I'm so, I don't know what the word is today. But I'm so amped. I so want to do this. And I'm in shock. When I turned on the TV, like I said this morning, it was me. I didn't touch anything but YouTube, and then suddenly I was on, and it was awesome. It was not in a I don't know. Oh, I'm just so good. I'm doing this, but what I thought was, wow, we're already at those wires, right? Which is why I don't want to move it now. I also see by the other podcasters because I watch them too, Joe Rogan and a few others, and they have studios. Obviously, they have studios, and they have a lot of celebrities, but they themselves are celebrities. I would just faint if I could speak to Cat Williams. Just speak to him. I mean that he's on my bucket list. He's number one. See Cat Williams. So here I am at 64, going, huh? And so if he sees me in here, he probably will go, absolutely not. You've never heard my name, kind of thing. But it would be awesome. So I don't know on that bad who I would interview, how I would interview. So the other thing I could do is to practice like I'm doing now. I will be doing my granddaughter, and I will be doing at least one of my friends. He used to be my husband's friend, but only I didn't see him for a couple of years. I wasn't introduced to him, and he comes over and sits at the bar and drinks a few. So we like to make sure he likes Crown Royal, so Robert will make sure he's got a bottle of Crown Royal there. And he likes the little Bud Light cans, and so Robert makes sure he has both things. Uh, there. He's a great guy, and we just love to see him. So yeah, we try to spoil him. It's not hard. He's such a sweet man. So again, I'm going to try to practice. I might get better. I'll be here all week. I have no idea past Sunday which part of the week I'm going to start stopping now because I was kind of nuts to do podcasts on Sunday. So here I am going, well, I only have, 162. Okay, we'll just do this to get tomorrow. We need more, which makes me just laugh. Actually, most of this is what's making me laugh. No inhibitions, and they just go away. I love flying when I did. The old flying, TWA and all them were still active, and I also like to go to a particular restaurant, but they've got too outrageous downtown. But they had great mimosas, and I love a mimosa. Start my day off with one of those. Don't do that very often, but sometimes life is ready and you're not. Huh? That's so good. That cinnamon back. Ooh. Excuse me. I saw that the wrong way. Um, I see, and it's just this one eye that does this. And ordinarily, if I use it cleaners or whatever, it'll stop sometimes. It started doing this when I had to have surgery on both eyes. It had gotten to where I couldn't see, and then it clouded through the cloudy thing. And so they were supposed to take my lenses off and scrape them, which sounded so much funner. What you want? This is the VA. I don't like it when you give me a shot. I mean, so I'm listening to this, and we're gonna clean your lens, and we're gonna put it back in, and then you can see you'll have I gotta have you won't be seeing that cloud because sometimes my vision was so bad I was just like peering through holes in a paper sheet. That's what it was. I mean, it was getting almost too late. It was too late to keep glasses. Oh, excuse me 1 second. This thing is so funny about. Are you still watching? Oh no, there it is. There it is. Okay. So, if you're at a bar anyway, I figure you should have some blooming music on. It's just a thing. So again, there are a lot of things that we could talk about out here. There's a lot of hippies out here, I know. So get on there. Put something in them comments. Tell me something. I don't know. It would be nice. Although I can't really say that with conviction because I'm not that nice. I'm from Chicago and I'm a veteran and a black belt. So I don't worry about things anymore because I'm old and I have a really great piece of weaponry with a laser sight. And I just got to feather the trigger and after I paint you. So I don't have to really work at it anymore. I don't have to fence. I don't have to. I just point. I don't have to get up. There's something I kid. And our friend knows that one of us at least has a weapon within 3 to 4 feet. Always. It's on safety. And if there's a child, they're all locked up. Uh, we have several locks, and then we put all of them back into the cabinet that also locks. It's steel because we're very serious. You can't leave things like that around because, and we have at that point we had grandkids, and we didn't have to worry about the too much because they didn't ever get near it, but it still was better safe than sorry. At this point, they're freaking me out because they're wanting the guns. And I don't think they care about the Bible yet, but they want them guns. It's going to be bad. I think it's going to be worse than we think. At the same time, I have a carry permit, so I got one with me all the time. I've always had one carry permit, and I didn't ask half the time. In San Antonio, um, besides working at the well, it was a college, a VA hospital, and a regular hospital. And the college was, of course, doctor's college, which I ran their tests and stuff. I was busy as hell. I loved every minute of it. I hired who I wanted to. I put in what equipment we would use, which at that time was Dell, and it was brand new on the market. Had been on, but that year. And so I knew not only would get a good price to get that many, but they had a great IT department. Most of the time, we could just unplug it, plug it back in. I had to laugh a little bit. I remember asking, I used to work IT off and on for about 10 years in between working for medical situations, but it cracks you up that that these guys, and I had to say, did you turn it on and off? Did you try and plug it in? when I remember the AOL that when it came out, it was AOL. And it was like, you go to a job interview or whatever. And I ended up working temporary because nobody would hire anything but temporary because they didn't have to keep them. They didn't have to provide insurance, anything. Uh, and you got paid by the agency that sent you there to work. I hated it. I ended up working on base finally for a little while. Then that was okay. But I tell you what, they messed up. They closed all the bases. I don't know what was about there. I don't know what money they were trying to save, but I don't agree with it. I'll tell you that I really don't. Even Fort Gordon here is it's not Fort Gordon anymore. My grandson told me, I think, and my son did too, but I've got the memory of a sieve, and there's only certain things that will stay there, like ghosties. I love those. I saw this last night. Uh-oh. It's done it again. Oh, State Farm's back. I see I really don't have much more time. I did, like I said, I watched Left Hand yesterday. I watched a few of those. I still haven't found any footage you could see at all, actually, on the Miami Mall incident of the portals opening and 9 foot giants came out. Something bloody happened there, though. I mean, I'm not doubting something happened. These people was running. You don't run if you don't have to. These weren't young bloods, all of them, but there were a lot of teenagers and young men and women in there. But they were dead flat out running. They weren't trying to film. They were even the film that was released is all with them running. And I've got to try and program this thing. See, and it has up there. It says, "Are you still watching?" You're like, I've got a timer going, so no, stay tuned. And it says that. I don't know why. It's just, it might be a smart TV, but I prefer my Amazon Prime. I just push the button and tell them to find this, this, and this, and they'll check through everything, all the channels I've got, YouTube and all, and come back and show me what they, you know, got. I love disaster movies. I don't know why. I don't like slasher movies. Don't watch them. Anything with evil in it, nope. No. For me, and I grew up in a place that it wasn't there very long, but I know what the word petrified means, literally means. And it's not like I'm a lady per se, put it that way. I mean, because I was in karate from 9 until 30 or whatever. And so, I wasn't a wimp, we'll put it that way. And so I'm thinking, to myself, I'm washing dishes for my mom, and I'm getting all this done in the kitchen. I mentioned that the back door had a big window in it. And I had set things on there. They have dishwashers. Nobody I knew had a dishwasher. They had a kid. It was, and so, like, okay. And I forget what I was thinking about after that. And I turned around I was wiping my hands on a cloth that I would have been hanging on the stove to dry. And I turned and I saw something. I mean, I've never been able to describe it, but it froze me. And it was pure evil. I was 13 at the time. And I mean, you couldn't move. In your head, you're running, screaming, running, the whole 9 yards. And you haven't even blinked, actually. And I don't know how long that was either, that I was held like that. I mean, I could not move. And in your head, you're screaming and trying to figure out how to fight, try to move your pinky, try something, for God's sakes. You still haven't batted an eye. That is petrified. My mother yelled my name, and the thing went like poof. And I mean, you heard it and it felt it in your ears. It was like when you take off in an airplane, it's just pop. So it had poured it out, as I understood later, and it had poured it in because I had noted that thing with the ears before I saw it as I turned, and it froze me. And I didn't cry, of course not. That just gives things power, more fear. But I was petrified with fear. And, the mom's asking, what's going on? What's going on? I don't want to burden her. She's already in her 60s. I worry about her. And I was like, what do you think? I don't have any problems. I just heard you call me. What's up? So I never told her. And about 2 weeks later, because I always did the dishes to clean up, so I didn't want my mom to work so hard because she already did the cooking. And I just felt something. I got goosebumps everywhere. The hair on the back of my neck was standing straight up. And I thought, don't turn around. Just don't turn around. And by this point, things were going on in the house too, basically around me. And so I was like, don't turn around. Just sideways walk out the door. And I tripped a little bit on the strip that Danny had put down on the linoleum, yeah, which was new. Matched the greenest stuff. But anyway, yeah, I caught that and stumbled. And when I did, I faced that door and instantly froze. Couldn't move. Um, I can't even describe such a situation truthfully. And I literally could not move. And I thought, and in your head, you're running, screaming, trying to figure out what to do, how you're going to get away. Is it going to let you go? And this thing was so evil. It's so evil. You can't breathe. I mean, you literally. It's the strangest thing for me. It's only happened twice that in my life that I was that petrified. I was that frightened. But petrified is the word that works because you go past scare at 100 miles an hour. I mean, like you wasn't even there. But I remember that both times my mother said something, and as soon as somebody broke the silence, it would leave. And it again did and I could feel the pressure in my ears. So that was an exciting thing to learn. I got some stories there, boy. I'll say this. I've been investigating myself, the paranormal, since I was 9 years old, because again, I experienced it personally. Not those two particular times that I told you about. That was I was 13. Still, I was 4'2". It's like, you should have heard my karate teacher laugh because here I was like 4'10". We get a new person and they get smart, do something stupid, just be an ass regularly. And he'd send me over to do the workout with him. And after I'd thrown him down 4 or 5 times, he was pretty good to go. That's one thing I love about karate, not just how it works, uh, although that's the main thing. But it also teaches discipline, respect, these type of things. So, and I've got pictures I should put up of my granddaughter. She had enlisted, as far as I could put it, into a new karate class, and was doing great at it. Had just won belt, her first belt. And I mean, you don't walk in and get a belt, folks. You got to earn it. And so here already she'd gotten her belt, and the pandemic hit, and so she didn't go back. And actually, the studio wasn't open because it was contact. Karate is. It's not just practicing, this or this. That's not how it goes. You warm up that way. Just jumping jacks and push-ups, running around the track, whatever, or all of it from my teacher. But even by the time I was 13, I had already had 4 belts because the one thing I did learn is that you are underestimated when you're a woman, particularly a petite woman, and I was 5'2", almost. And the funniest thing happened about that. I'll have to tell you that. Well, I might have enough time. In any event, I was coming home from karate class. It was dark. It's Chicago. I take the shortcut. I can see my house, and it's dark. I mean, you can't hardly see anything. And this shape just jumped up, and the field was about as high as my chest. It had been done, and so this person jumps at me, and I went into automatic mode and broke a couple of his ribs, left him in the field and was gone. I didn't know it was my friend. When I hit him so hard in the ribs, it broke his two ribs, he couldn't breathe enough to yell it was him to quit killing him. So, a little while later, when my parents get back from the hospital, he's my best friend's brother and also a friend of mine. Denise is my friend. And she calls me and she says, "Why did you beat Boyd up?" Oh my God. It's like, why did he jump me? She said, he was just going to walk the rest of the way home with you. I said, well, you need to tell him to say who he is before he's at arm's length, not after he's in my face. Boyd wouldn't talk to me for a week. And never ever did he try to surprise me again. So yeah, it's a good discipline to have. And again, they underestimate a small, petite person because you use their own strengths against them. And that, like I said, he was didn't say anything. It was more like he was trying to fight me off. That he, well, I guess he was. Check it out, but like I say, he didn't talk to me for a week, but he finally forgave me, sort of. The bad thing about it, even though we didn't have social media, we had social talk. And by the time I got back from the house, everybody knew. And so they wouldn't even leave the house. So sometimes those things turn out really, really well for one of us. Maybe not so much for the other. But I see my time is about up. And I'm sure my husband wants me to get off because he's just a wonderful guy and he just stays out of the way until I get off. So I wanted to let everybody know once again, share, like, comment, hit the bell, do a subscription. You don't like it, you get rid of it. Come join me at the bar. Let's show these people that there's more than one hippie left. God bless. Old Spice gives you ridiculously long lasting scent.